Hello and welcome back to the Women's Rugby Show. I'm Sam Byther and today we're back with episode 3 of the player preview series. This week we're back again to Gloucester-Hartpury, so we thought we'd speak to England and Gloucester-Hartpury's second row, Zoe Aldcroft, ahead of their game against DMP Durham Sharks. Before we get into the video, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the Women's Rugby Show on YouTube and follow us across all social medias. Now let's get into our chat with Zoe. So Zoe, welcome to the Women's Rugby Show. How are you? What have you been doing in the last couple of weeks to keep yourself busy?
Hi, yeah, I'm good, thank you. I've been away in a couple of England camps, building up into the Six Nations in April, and then just rugby training, getting back into it really, coming back from injury, which has been really good.
So obviously, you mentioned your injury. We were actually there at Loughborough that day when you got injured in the warm-up. So do you want to tell everyone a little bit about actually what happened and then how tough the rehab's been coming back from that as well?
In the warm-up against Loughborough, I came down from a line-out and just landed on my foot funny, and had a break and some ligament damage in my foot, which was a bit annoying because it was only the second game of the season. So I've been out since then. Had my first game back against Bristol. But yeah, the rehab program, it was a bit up and down. But I think with every injury, it's always going to be like that. It's not always a straight roller coaster, but we're definitely on the up now, and hopefully I can stay injury free from now on. So yeah.
Did you find it tough kind of watching on from the sidelines as the season progressed, both with England and for Gloucester-Hartpury?
Yeah, definitely. It's always tough not being involved, but I think it's really important to stay in with it as much as you possibly can. Being around the teams, really important. Even when you don't really feel like it, I think it's just really important to keep getting that information that you need.
And how nice has it been kind of watching the girls at Gloucester-Hartpury progress this season, perform so well at times in big games, and get some quite good results at times as well?
I think Gloucester, they started out really well. They've progressed also really well, and I'm really pleased to eventually now be able to join them in their journey. And we've got loads of things to work on, loads of things to build on, but I think each week we definitely keep getting better and better.
And how nice was it to be back against Bristol a couple of weeks ago and get that big win in a derby as well?
Yeah, so nice. The sun came out for it, so it was a really nice day. And I think the girls really played well also.
How did you feel your performance was coming back from an injury? Obviously, you came off the bench for it, but how did you feel your own personal performance was?
I think, obviously, I was a little bit rusty. My lungs were definitely, could tell that I haven't been on the pitch in a while. But yeah, I think it was a good start and something to build on. So yeah, I was happy-ish with it. Okay, yeah.
And obviously, you're still getting back into the new rules with the Premier 15 this season. Obviously, you only had the first game and then these last couple of weeks. So how difficult have you found it only coming back into it, having been off injured?
I haven't actually noticed it too much. It's just with obviously I'm a line-up follower, so having to remember not to do a drive in the middle of the pitch, that sort of stuff, and obviously with our scrums and setting up for a free kick quickly rather than going for the scrum. But it's not too different. I suppose it's just you get less breaks, which is not too good if you haven't been playing rugby for a lot recently. So.
Do you think the kind of skill and pace in the Gloucester-Hartpury backline, do you think you kind of benefit from these rules and having the free kicks to start a game instead of a scrum and getting those exciting and fast backs and centres and wingers just outrunning?
Yeah, definitely. We always want to get our fast backs on the ball because they always make ground for us. And as well with the forwards, I think we're more of a fitter, sort of faster sort of playing team rather than big physical collision based team. So I think it does actually suit us in some sort of ways, but then it's also nice to have a scrum so then we can actually get backs against backs running into that space, if that makes sense. So it has made a difference, but I think we've adjusted well to it, but I think we are looking forward to when we are allowed scrummers again.
Obviously DMP this weekend, how much is the focus in training this week being on not being complacent? Obviously, DMP haven't won a game this season. So how much is it been about focusing on making sure you're not complacent and making sure you're keeping focused on your game plan?
Yeah, definitely. I think each week it's really important to look at it in the same sort of way. Like every team we go in being the best we want to be. So it's just about looking at ourselves and what we can improve on. We can reach out to no matter which team that we're playing against. We're always going in with the mindset that we want to be playing the best we can be, and like having those little targets that we just need to stay focused on, and basically just building on from each week and improving ourselves rather than the opposition.
And where do you think their kind of DMP's threats lie in their team and around their pitch?
I think they've got some like big hard ball carriers at the front with Brogan and Lisa. So I think they'll be really big ball carriers for them. So yeah, I think that's where their threats will be.
So what are you looking for? What Sean kind of said to you going into this week's game to come out with the best possible result for you on Saturday?
So we're really focusing on like our red zone sort of thing. I think we've had the last couple of weeks coming away with a lot of frustration where we haven't been very clinical in that sort of area and not coming away with the points that we want. So this week we're really targeting that area and making sure that as soon as we get into there, we've got that switch of dominance and we're just trying to get over the line and keep them in that sort of area of the field.
And looking ahead to the rest of the season, first and from a Gloucester-Hartpury point of view, where do you feel like the kind of aims are for the side pushing towards the last rounds of the Premier 15s?
Hopefully win the next however many matches are to go. But we are really trying to push like into that top 4 slot. Like I know it's like we've got a lot of work to do, but it is possible. But yeah, just doing the best we can, making sure we're coming out with as many points as possible over the next few games.
And now, from an England point of view, obviously you've been in camp the last few weeks. First of all, how was the camp? How is everyone developing after the autumn and the good results in the autumn?
Yeah, we're developing really well. We've got our hard training's pretty brutal, but all the girls do it like perform week in, week out, and then come into camp and then do the same again. So I think we're at a really good stage in the England camp at the moment.
It's less than a month away till this new kind of format of the Six Nations starts. So you're looking forward to kind of playing in a different style and being away from the men's Six Nations, so all the focus is on the women's Six Nations as well.
Yeah, I think it's really good that we've separated the Six Nations so that we can have more of a focus as well. I think when it's the men's game, sometimes like people wouldn't watch us because they're watching so much rugby in a weekend that we kind of just get pushed aside a little bit. So I think it'd be really good for women's rugby. I think we'll get a lot more of the men's spectators watching us as well. I just wish it was like the whole 5 games again and what it is usually, but unfortunately it isn't.
Obviously, there's still going to be some good games in that tournament. So are you just excited to hopefully get back in an England shirt and get back playing wearing that red rose?
Hopefully, touch wood. Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait.
And finally, obviously, slightly disappointingly, the Rugby World Cup was announced that it's been postponed. In a way, is that kind of a nice thing to see that there's more preparation time and also potentially there will be crowds there for almost definite, hopefully?
Yeah, definitely. I think it is obviously disappointing. Like all the girls have started their preparation, like all the nations have started their preparation, and obviously for girls who thought they were going to retire after this World Cup, like just for them having to hold on an extra year, is obviously like not what they may have planned. But I think there's obviously the positives that can come out of it. Our family and friends can be out there. It gives us England, I think we're quite a young team, so it gives us that extra year to develop. So I think there's definitely like negatives to some people, and then there's obviously a lot of positives that can come out of it. And hopefully 2022, it can be a really great spectacle for women's rugby.
Perfect. So thanks a lot for joining me and good luck for the weekend as well.
Thank you very much.
So a big thank you to Zoe for joining us today. It was really great to chat to her about all things Gloucester-Hartpury ahead of their game against DMP tomorrow. So good luck to her, Good luck to DMP as well, and thank you all for watching. But before you go, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the Women's Rugby Show on YouTube, and check us out across all social media. And I'll be back over the weekend with all the content from tomorrow's game between Gloucester-Hartpury and DMP, as well as our video and highlights from the game on Monday as well. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.